Hi, it's Norman Sutherland from Higher Ground Lifestyle here, and today's video is about the Jimny at work. I don't actually make my money by making videos of a Suzuki Jimny. In fact, I don't make any money from making videos of a Suzuki Jimny. What I actually do for a living is work as a specialist healthcare planning consultant. I work all over the country, and that means me going to some far-flung and distant places because we specialise in remote and rural healthcare. Tomorrow I have a very long day because I need to go from my home just outside Dundee to the island of Skye. The Scottish hills at the moment are covered in a lot of snow. We're having a lot of stormy weather, so I've decided to take the Jimny with me. The challenge that brings is I've got a lot of gear that I need to take with me because I'm running a couple of workshops while I'm up there. So this is some but not all of the kit I've got to take with me for tomorrow. I've got my own overnight bag just in case I get stuck. I've got my laptop and various different bits and pieces, an LCD projector. I've got a complete PA system with stands, I've got radio microphones, I've got fixed microphones, all manner of different bits and pieces. But we got to get into the Jimny to get to the Isle of Skye. And that's the challenge. And the bag in there is my emergency winter kit that I take with me everywhere in the Scottish Highlands in the winter. It's got emergency clothing, boots and things, and it's on top of the emergency kit that I keep in the Jimny. Let's see how we get on with packing this. So the first thing I've done is flatten the seats out and remove the headrests. I do like the embroidery work that we had done in the headrest with the Higher Ground Lifestyle logo. It just adds something a little bit to the car, makes it a bit different. So I've now packed my LCD projector and my laptop in the space between the back seats and the front seats, and that keeps them nice and tight, and they're quite expensive bits of equipment in there. I know a lot of people in the Jimny have fitted D-clips and various different brackets into the 6mm threaded holes under the window. My personal preference at the moment is actually just to use ratchet straps that go right underneath the seat on the back there to hold down the gear that I've got in the back. Let's put some of that in now. So that's the speakers and the other part of the PA system and microphones and things in the bag. They're all ratchet strapped in and they're nice and solid. Good. And we can see the balance of bags are going to fit in there, no problem at all, and it still leaves my emergency kit where it's most accessible and my kind of emergency overnight stuff if I have to stay over likewise where it's most accessible. So we've got it all in there, and to be quite honest, there's lots of room to spare. Lots of room to spare. We can move things about, there are gaps all over the place. The other thing, of course, that I should have mentioned is I also need my spare seat free because there is somebody coming with me to assist, and I've got to pick him up in Inverness first thing in the morning, so that makes the journey even longer and more interesting. So normally I would simply drive north on the A9 to Dalwhinnie and then cross over via Speeding Bridge to Callaloch and on to Portree on the Isle of Skye. But my early morning meetings in Inverness mean that I need to carry on the A9 as far as Inverness, then head north to Dingwall to pick up Gary, who's my brother, before heading west to Garve, Loch Carron, and then on to Callaloch of Loch Alsh. I've also now checked the oil, topped up the washers, done everything else that I need to do, so we're ready to go, and we'll be leaving about 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's when we'll pick this video up. In terms of the travel time, it should take us about 2 hours and 50 minutes to get to Inverness, and then probably about another 2.5 hours beyond that, maybe 2 3/4 to get to the island of Skye. Let's go. Long day. Okay, so it's about an hour since we left the house. We're now well in the Scottish Highlands. Plenty of snow about. It's taken me a long time to be able to pull over because most of the laybys are full of snow. So far, the Jimny has averaged about 36 miles to the gallon, which is excellent because, of course, it's got the roof rack fitted, and also most of the journey so far has been uphill. And I'm glad I've taken the Jimny with me. Sometimes it's, you're not sure, and the BMW obviously is much comfier for a long journey, but I'm glad I've taken the Jimny today, and this is the easy bit so far. Let's keep going. Okay, so we've now finished the meetings in Inverness and we're on our way to Skye. It's turned into an absolutely gorgeous day. Still a lot of white snow on the mountains. It's now 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Our evening meeting in Skye is at 6 o'clock. The Jimny's still averaging about 35, 36 miles to the gallon, and I've now been joined in the car by Gary, my brother, who's also helping me to facilitate this evening's event. Arrived in Portree. One of the problems with the Jimny always is securing things, and I'm certainly going to have to look at putting in some tie downs, because that's held everything really solid, and we've been going reasonably fast on some country roads, but it's not necessarily the best system. I need to put some way in of actually holding everything together. Let's get unpacked anyway. What then followed was a 2-hour public meeting in Skye, facilitated by ourselves, followed by another hour and a half to 2 hours of informal conversation with some of the people who had participated in that, before we packed everything back in the Jimny and got back on the road, headed for Inverness to drop Gary off and for another fuel stop. It's now just after 2 o'clock in the morning. We're back in Inverness, and we're on the 3rd tank top up of the day. And if anything, that's the biggest single frustration with the Jimny, the size of the fuel tank. 3 fills in a day is quite a lot. Then it was back on the road, heading for, first of all, Perth, and then heading for Dundee. Arriving early in the morning. Okay, so it's about 20 past 5 in the morning now. It's been a 22, 23 hour day. We've covered about 600 miles. We've been to Skye and back. Oh, lights. We've been to Skye and back via Inverness, and the Jimny's averaged about 35.3 miles per gallon and about 44 miles an hour. It's been a long day. It's been a good day. Glad I took the truck. There's been quite a bit of snow and different things, and time for bed. Time for bed. Okay, so it's the morning after the night before, and what have we learned from our very long journey yesterday with the Jimny? Firstly, I think we've learned that the Jimny is more than capable of handling long journeys. Lots of people have said it's not a long distance car. I have to say, I do an awful lot of miles in my daily life, and I enjoyed the 600 or so miles I did yesterday in the Jimny. The cruise control makes it really a good car on motorways, which some of my journey was on yesterday, or certainly dual carriageways. Makes it a little bit easier. I really missed that in my Land Rover Defender. I didn't have it. It makes a real difference in the Jimny. It's not as fast as my BMW. Inevitably, of course, it's not as fast as my BMW, but it does give me comfort when I'm driving in those snowy conditions, which I have to drive in when I'm going through the mountains. And interestingly enough, yesterday I left here with no snow on the ground, going through the mountains, lots and lots of snow about, including still on the roads. And by the time I got to Skye also, there was no snow there, but it's that bit in between that's a real challenge for me. In terms of capacity, we could fit everything in that we needed to, but obviously we needed to sacrifice the back seats to do that. Frankly, we knew that anyway. And the nice square boxy shape of the Jimny actually makes it very practical from the point of view of getting things in the back. Certainly I will want to look at how I secure things down in the back of the Jimny, not because my ratchet strap system doesn't work, but I just want to make it a little bit easier for packing and unpacking the car at different times, especially when I'm going to different venues for different events. Consumption, 35 to 36 miles an hour is not ideal, but it's not bad. Bearing in mind that the car was heavily loaded, there were 2 of us in it, and neither of us are small, plus lots of equipment, and also I have that roof rack on the car, which definitely has a negative impact on fuel consumption. The biggest single factor that affected my journey adversely yesterday was the number of times that I needed to stop for fuel. I had 3 fuel stops yesterday, and normally to do that journey in my BMW, I wouldn't have any. I would fill the car before I left, and I wouldn't need to refill it again. So 3 fuel stops is actually quite frustrating. And if there was one thing I would actually change about the Jimny for that kind of journey, it would be to put a larger fuel tank in it. In terms of things that I would want to review and change, probably just the way that we tie down equipment in the back. I really enjoyed the journey. It was really good, and that's just as well because I'm away to do it again next week. I have another 2 journeys up to Skye next week, So looking forward to those. One other thing, and I don't know if it's relevant or not, but all along the road through the mountains, there were lots and lots of cars stopped at the side of the road because their washers had frozen and they obviously couldn't see out the window and they're washing their windows with snow. Excuse me, that didn't happen in the Jimny. I don't know if that's a design feature or not, but I certainly have never had any problems with the washers freezing. I enjoyed my journey. And I hope you enjoyed the video too, which is just a practical look at what it's like to live with a Jimny in everyday life. Always value your comments, always value your suggestions on more videos. Looking forward to doing some more for you, and we do have some exciting things coming up in the next few weeks, including the imminent arrival of my new Suzuki Jimny. So looking forward to that too. Thanks for your time, guys.